What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy Cly, and welcome back to Budget Buys. Now today I'm going to be taking a look at the sound-activated LED lights that I found just the other day at my local Five Below. And just like last time, I want to go ahead and issue a flashing lights warning. So if you are sensitive to flashing lights in any way, feel free to sit this video out. Otherwise, I will be giving you a heads up right before I hit the button, as well as a countdown, so it'll be safe to look away during that segment or skip ahead. With that being said, let's move forward. Now, there's not really much that I can say about the packaging other than the fact that it tells you everything you need to know right in the title of the product. So let me go ahead and pull these out of the box and meet you after the transition. So inside the box, you pretty much get the exact same thing you got with the last two LED strips I reviewed, and that is a little plastic bag that contains everything. Now, in this case, what you're going to be getting is the instruction booklet, which is actually, admittedly, quite a bit larger than last time, though it really doesn't seem to contain any more information. In fact, it even talks about the little pinch technique from the previous video. Also, you get the LED strip, which is once again USB powered, and that's it. Now, in case you haven't watched my previous videos, this is a 1 meter long self-adhesive and weather-resistant LED strip. In this case, you're going to be getting 30 LEDs per meter. Also, there's no remote control. That's actually quite a bit different from the last two. Instead, all of your controls are right here on your little power supply. That's kind of neat, but a little inconvenient if you're going to be putting this around your television or sound system. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this LED strip powered on using my rechargeable power bank, as well as issue my first strobe light warning, because I learned before this cut that it defaults to sound activated mode, so you might get flashed in 3, 2, 1. And now all I need to do is to get it out of this mode, reach over and hit the mode button. And now we're solid. Okay, everyone, you can look again. We are no longer in strobing light territory for the moment. As for how these look in the dark, let me go ahead and turn off my recording lights. And to be perfectly honest, these are pretty friggin' bright right now. But the brightness isn't the only thing you're here to see. You want to see what these look like when they're reacting to music. So I've gone ahead and hooked my phone up to this Bluetooth speaker. For this first test, I'm going with my usual metal track, and I'll be switching to sound activated mode shortly, so go ahead and prepare yourselves to look away if you're sensitive to strobing lights in 3, 2, 1. And that's how it looks with metal. Let's get some jazz up, shall we? And 3, 2, 1, we're back from the strobe mode. So let me go ahead and turn the overhead lights back on. And I want to say something really quick. It seems like it uses the most rudimentary of sound response modes. No matter what tempo you're listening to, once the music hits a certain volume, it's just going to blink really quickly. Personally, I would like something a little bit more elaborate, but I understand this is a $5 strip. They're not going to throw potentiometers in there that are driven by the audio signal, so you're not going to get a sliding pattern, which would be nicer to see, especially when listening to softer music like that jazz track. And because of that, I'm actually not the biggest fan of this LED strip, despite the fact that it's green, my favorite color. But that's just my personal opinion. You might like the effect that you saw, especially if the primary type of music you listen to is either up-tempo or heavier, kind of like the metal that I used in the first example, because admittedly that's like 99% of what I listen to, Mellow Death for Life. And one last thing I want to point out before I wrap things up is that if you're going to be plugging this into your TV, because most new TVs have at least one USB port these days, you're not guaranteed to have these light up while the TV is turned off. I know that because that question actually popped up several times in the comment section of my first LED strip review, and I didn't even think to cover that. But yes, not every device that outputs power over USB is active when the device is turned off. I mean, my desktop is perfectly fine with that, no matter what power is being output by the USB ports. But my laptop will not charge a dang thing unless it's turned on. So you might have a similar situation with your TV. So before freaking out and thinking, oh my goodness, these don't work, I need to return them, try turning the TV on first. And I especially want to point that out because pretty much all of us have gotten spoiled by the fact that if something's outputting power over USB, it's always outputting power. I've had more than my fair share of freakouts when my phone didn't start charging the moment I plugged it into my laptop. Anyway, I kind of got on quite the tangent there, so let's render that verdict. As for whether or not this is a good price for what you're getting, yeah, it definitely is. You're going to be hard-pressed to beat this price for a meter of weatherproof sound-activated LEDs. I'm not going to argue that. However, it's really not the kind of effect that I was looking for. Yes, it would work with the kind of music that I listen to, but if you're listening to something with smoother transitions, it might not be for you. So it really comes down to personal tastes. Anyway, I've got to get back to all those microphones that I keep talking about. I got more of them. Help me. I have a problem. Anyway, until next time, this is your guy Cly, signing off.